On Authentic Ag, we talk with Livestock Marketing Association's Chelsea Good and Mike Day with Rural Community Insurance Services. We'll also have some features from some of the state's ag groups. I'm Ken Rahjes, and this is Authentic Ag. Brought to you in part by Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots organization representing the state's farmers and ranchers since 1919. KFB.org. Kansas Wheat Commission, leading in the adoption of profitable innovations for wheat. Online, kswheat.com. And Kansas Corn, building the future of Kansas corn. Online, kscorn.com. In ag news from agview.net, two extremes. Some hope industrial hemp can be the next big thing for Kansas farmers, but others are still convinced it's simply fool's gold. Well, somewhere in between are K-State University researchers who'll be looking for facts that they can better inform everyone's opinions. In Kansas, Jason Griffin, who is the director of the John C. Pear Horticulture Center in Hayesville, will be leading the way in building expertise on the crop. Industrial hemp is closely controlled by the Fed and state regulations because it comes from the same cannabis species as marijuana. But instead of getting people high, it's grown for fiber, seed, or oil, each of which leads to a variety of end products. Last year, the Kansas legislature's Alternative Crop Research Act was signed into law by then Governor Collier. It allowed the Kansas Department of Agriculture to oversee research into this cultivation of industrial hemp. Also, last year, the Parr Center faced some possibility of closure due to some budget concerns. One of the primary options to make part of that center focus considering some industrial hemp research. So the interim dean of the College of Agriculture, and also he's the interim director for K-State Research Extension, Dr. Ernie Minton, made it clear from the beginning that he wants K-State to lead in this area of research because of the potential it could have and the added value of the agriculture marketplace. You can find more on this story at agview.net, including a recent podcast that will answer many questions that the folks have. And Amazon's plan to enter the brick and mortar supermarket business appears to be a move to target more price-conscious consumers compared to the Whole Foods chain that Amazon bought a while back. Wall Street Journal is reporting the new chain will look more like a traditional grocery store. Amazon is seeking to launch the business separate from the Whole Foods and the Amazon Go stores. Amazon supermarkets aimed at the Main Street customers could also compete directly with some of Amazon's competitors like Walmart and those Target stores.
What if U.S. soybean oil were an industry sensation? If end users started asking for it by name? That future is here, the time is now. To meet customer demands, the Soybean Checkoff is investing in varieties that produce oil with increased functionality. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Agriculture information on your computer or mobile device. News and views on grains, livestock, policy, and opinions from newsmakers can be found by liking AgView on Facebook, and on Twitter, follow AgView News, a reliable and relevant source. agview.net.
KLA and the Kansas Beef Council are part of the agriculture community involved in a statewide food drive to be held throughout March to reduce hunger and honor Kansas Agriculture Month. The Neighbor to Neighbor Food Drive is a collaborative effort put together by the Kansas Department of Agriculture, Dillon's Food Stores, Harvesters, the Community Food Network, the Kansas Food Bank, the Second Harvest Community Food Bank, and Kansas Agriculture Groups. Collection points for donated, non-perishable food items will be available in all Dillon stores across the state. Shoppers also can donate cash at the checkout counter. Dillon's will match donations made at the register up to $20,000. In addition, any 4-H or youth organization can win groceries to help feed those in need in their area by participating in the Food Drive Challenge. The organization to collect the most items in each of 4 statewide 4-H regions will receive a $1,500 voucher from Dillon's to go to their local food bank. The food drive is just one of several events planned around the celebration of Kansas Agriculture Month and Kansas and National Ag Day, March 14th. For more information about how to participate in the Food Drive Challenge or on all the other Ag Month events, go to the Kansas Ag Day website.
We're joined now by Chelsea Good, who is Vice President of Government and Industry Affairs for the Livestock Marketing Association, many of us know it as the LMA. That's most of your local sale barns. So, Chelsea, always good to catch up with you. One of the issues that seems to be on a lot of people's minds, especially in the cattle industry and even in the livestock industry, is traceability, knowing where that animal comes from, and once it gets to maybe its final place, and if you can go all the way back. Kansas is one of those states that has really done a lot. A pilot program, LMA has been deeply involved with that.
Absolutely. Traceability seems to be one of those cyclical issues in our industry that every 5 years or so we kind of turn back to. It's certainly in an upswing right now where it's getting a lot of attention. It was 2013 when the federal rule went into a place that we have now, but that federal ADT rule only requires ID of cattle that are adult animals moving across state lines. So there's lots of conversations about, is this working? What's the next step? How do we make it better? I think one of the areas people are the most interested in is the technology. Has the technology gotten better? Are there electronic tags that would really help in this space? And to me, that's the value of Cattle Trace. We've got 7 member markets that are participating in figuring out those high-frequency RFID tags. Are they going to be working in the systems we already have in place?
Yeah, this is not necessarily take the place of showing a brand new cattle. That's still a way of identification, but this is a way of basically building that traceability, because again, some people in the market really want to be able to have that as a tool for that for livestock.
Absolutely, and you do see people that are doing a lot in this space voluntarily right now. Some branded programs, some USDA AMS source and age verified programs, where if we've got customers out there that are wanting something specific, more information about their beef and where it comes from, we'll absolutely fill that niche, and we're filling that niche right now on a voluntary basis. But it is a small section of our cattle industry, and we're kind of looking at cattle as a whole, and do we get more traceable within the whole system, recognizing there are lots of costs and logistical challenges if you head that direction.
Another issue, Congressman Roger Marshall, big first district in Kansas, introduced a bill in the last Congress, and to try to get some definitions and some language in there to make sure that if you do sell to a livestock market, you get paid.
Absolutely. This is a huge issue for us. We really appreciate Congressman Marshall and his championship of the SALE Act. It's got 53 co-sponsors, and long and short of it, it's making sure that the unpaid seller of livestock has priority to either get those livestock back, or if those livestock have been resold, the proceeds from the livestock. If you're a producer and you're selling at auction, that auction's got a custodial account, you've got that guarantee, but the auction might not get paid. And if you're a producer that's selling in the country to a dealer directly, this would have a big impact in giving you more security that you're going to make sure you have recovery and payment. Okay,
things going good with the livestock market, your members?
Yeah, our folks are happy.
Good. All right. So Chelsea Good, Vice President of Governmental and Industry Affairs for the Livestock Marketing Association, has joined us. We'll have more coming up.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also
Joining us now is Mike Day with RCIS, crop insurance. Of course, everybody knows about RCIS, and we're going to talk about, I guess, crop insurance and the role it is in the Farm Bill. And it seems like Kansas Pat Roberts chairs the Senate Ag Committee and says, of everything else, crop insurance will be a part of it. Still confident in that realm?
Absolutely, and Chairman Roberts has been a huge proponent for crop insurance over the years, and certainly we appreciate all his support, as well as Chairman Conaway and Rank Minority on the Senate side, Debbie Stabenow, as well as Colin Peterson on the House side. So I think across the board, House and Senate Ag committees, we've had very strong support. We've had a great effort in keeping any harmful amendments from coming into the Farm Bill. So we're very appreciative of everybody's support, Crop Insurance Coalition as well. And we're very hopeful that in lame duck there'll be a consensus on the Farm Bill in total, and that we'll get it done before we go to a new session of Congress.
And one of the things, is there's the players that are supportive of it, but the members of Congress, do they fully understand what the role crop insurance plays?
Well, the members of Congress that are from ag states definitely do. They understand it pretty well. And I think that the members that maybe don't understand the mechanics of crop insurance, they do understand food security and the value of affordable, viable food supply. So I think those are two different lines that we use. Some don't understand the program, but understand the need for the food supply that we certainly have and are very, very lucky to have. So we have a lot of supporters. Certainly the Ag Committee understands crop insurance and the mechanics of crop insurance, but we spend a lot of time on the outside of the Ag Committee with people that maybe don't understand how it works. Mm-hmm.
Let's go back then. Let's take her back almost to the kitchen table level, if you will. Tell us a little more about RCIS, kind of your footprint and how you work with farmers.
Sure. So we've been in the business for well over 30 years. We're an approved insurance provider. We're second in the marketplace in the U.S. We write in all 50 states. We have approximately 3,000 agents around the country, and we think they're very good, very, very professional. We have 900 adjusters in the field as well, from coast to coast, that handle our claims activity. So we take pride in delivering the right kind of coverages to our agents, and our agents certainly know the program very well. They can come up with the right options for the farmer, and then obviously when we get into years like this year, we have certain areas drought, certain areas too much rain. We've had hurricanes. We're probably at probably 75,000 notices of loss right now for the year. So even though it's been record yields in a lot of areas in the Corn Belt, we're still going to have a fair amount of claims, I think, and somewhere, everywhere, there's farmers that are affected by the weather or maybe prices as well that are going to need our help this year to get.
Before we let you go, I want to talk about kind of a unique product not everybody has, and that is for rangeland, pasture land, and so on.
So PRF it's not a new product. It seems to be taking off though, and it's an RMA program. Sign up is coming up shortly, so if you're thinking about that, you should be talking to your agents. But it is actually a growing program, and certainly more so in the Midwest now. Mm-hmm. So it is an RMA program, a federal program. So there is a premium discount that USDA gives you, and again, you can tailor it to your operation.
Great. All right. Now, folks want to find out more, go to the website and get that.
RCIS.com, or contact your local RCIS agent, and you can find out all you need to know.
All right, Mike, appreciate the update. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Mike Day, who is with RCIS, has joined us, and we'll be back in a moment here on the Kansas Ag Report.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for that grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well on their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, and we're glad to answer and work with you.
Kim Mannering with Hardy Insurance. Today we will talk about umbrella coverage.
Did you know that if you're held liable in any type of accident, the judgment can claim your assets? Please give me a call so we can discuss. 316-945-6733.
Agriculture information on your computer or mobile device. News and views on grains, livestock, policy, and opinions from newsmakers can be found by liking AgView on Facebook, and on Twitter, follow AgView News, a reliable and relevant source, agview.net.
The European Union announced it would accept the U.S. Soybean Sustainability Assurance Protocol as a voluntary scheme under its Renewable Energy Directive. That recognition allows the oil from certified soybeans to be feedstock for biodiesel production in the EU. Building on the widely accepted SSAP, the new program addresses the specific requirements of the RED regulations, including restrictions on land conversion with commitments to auditing, compliance, and reporting. The European Commission's recognition is an important milestone in documenting the overall sustainability of U.S. soy. It will enhance marketing opportunities in that and other global markets. To meet the RED's specific requirements, the SSAP has a number of innovative components, including a self-declaration by farmers, attesting to good agricultural practices, and restrictions on land use conversion. Independent third-party auditing and compliance support the self-declaration. U.S. soybean farmers' best management practices and the latest technology have helped reduce greenhouse gas production and soil erosion. Each year, the Federal Agriculture Department supports U.S. farmers' sustainability practices with more than $5.6 billion in conservation funding and about 23,000 compliance audits. You can learn more at kansassoybeans.org/sustainability on the web.
What does a brighter, more sustainable future look like in our cities and towns, and how do we get there? When New York needed an alternative fuel source to reduce carbon emissions, the city found what it needed in biodiesel made from U.S. soybean oil.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
The history and tradition of farming and ranching in Kansas lives on today as agriculture remains at the heart of our state's health and prosperity as the largest industry, employer, and economic driver in Kansas. Hi, I'm Heather Lansdowne with the Kansas Department of Agriculture, and I'm proud to share that the month of March has been proclaimed by Governor Laura Kelly as Kansas Agriculture Month, and Thursday, March 14th has been declared Kansas Agriculture Day. Join us as we celebrate the contributions of the ag community and as we raise awareness that the crops and animals grown on farms and ranches in Kansas are feeding Kansas families as well as families around the world. To celebrate on Kansas Ag Day, we have been joined by our industry partners in sharing information about Kansas agriculture in the Capitol, including demonstrations of the mobile dairy classroom outside the Capitol on the south side, hosted by the Kansas Dairy Association. Throughout Kansas Ag Month, we are honoring this year's Ag Month theme, Food for Life, with the annual Neighbor to Neighbor statewide food drive, a collaboration with Dillon's Food Stores and Harvesters, the Community Food Network, Kansas Food Bank, and Second Harvest Community Food Bank, to ensure that the food drive reaches every Kansas community. Donate at your local Dillon's throughout the month of March because Dillon's is matching donations made at the register. And this year, youth organizations like 4-H and FFA are joining a food drive challenge in communities across the state. The club that collects the most in each of 4 statewide regions will receive $1,500 in groceries from Dillon's for their local food bank. Find out more about Kansas Ag Month on our website, agriculture.ks.gov/KSAgmonth, or follow along on social media at #KSAgDay, #KSAgMonth, or #NeighborToNeighbor, as KDA celebrates the past and the future of agriculture during Kansas Agriculture Month.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Agriculture information on your computer or mobile device. News and views on grains, livestock, policy, and opinions from newsmakers can be found by liking AgView on Facebook, and on Twitter, follow AgView News, a reliable and relevant source. AgView.
Good morning. I'm Eric Osterhaus with Paragon Ag Advisors. It appears that the corn and soybean markets are still stuck in a range as no one seems willing to get too far out of their comfort zone, at least until we get some sort of ink spilled on an actual deal with the Chinese. It appears that all other fundamental news are going to continue to take a back seat, at least until that deal is done. Unfortunately, we can't say the same thing for the wheat market. The recent break has brought us to new contract lows, and it appears the funds continue to add to their net short position. Many have banked their bullish hopes on wheat to the belief that Russia would have to reduce their exports in the first quarter of 19, and that the world would need to turn to the U.S. However, that simply has not happened, and we continue to lose out on wheat bids as they go to our competitors. The wheat bulls have been ground down over the last several months, and they're going to be pretty cautious going forward. The real question in regards to the future of the grain markets is what effect it will have on the grain markets once the deal is done. The simplest and most direct outcome is that most are expecting to see the markets move higher, in particular the soybean market. However, we've been talking about this news for a very long time, and while many assume that it will happen, there is no guarantee. We could see the scenario where just the opposite happens, at least for a little while. We still may get a knee-jerk reaction higher, but it may not last very long. Take advantage of any white swan events and have some orders lined up in order to take advantage of any of those sudden moves higher. As always, if you have any questions on these or any markets, call us today at 888-452-8751. Have a productive day.
Well, thank you for joining us for Authentic Ag. If you have questions, comments, or guest ideas, email me, Ken Rahjes at gmail.com. We'll see you next week on Authentic Ag.
My name's Karen Cope, and I have multiple sclerosis. When you have MS, on the outside you look great, but you know what's really going on in the inside is chronic body pain, chronic fatigue. And there's lots of days that I'd wake up and say, oh, please God, help me get through this day. You know, after stem cells, Chloe, my youngest daughter, she was asked by my father-in-law, how's your mom doing? And Chloe said, Grandpa, I've never had a mom like this before. Because she was 8 when I was diagnosed, and she really had no other memory of me but being sick. It's really the simple things that we do as a family, like play cards and to be able to win at cards. You know, they all laugh because I used to repeat myself and say, what hand are we on? You know, where are we at? And it's just been really a true blessing from God, and we're really thankful.
All over the country, more and more communities are making the change to biodiesel made from U.S. soybean oil, and the decision continues improving the health and welfare for millions of Americans while adding billions to our national economy.